infinite solutions, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and thank you for watching.
Did you know there's a string of explosive wonders stretching across the Pacific Northwest? Yes, we're talking about volcanoes, those fiery mountains that have fascinated us for centuries. Today, we're going on a journey to explore these natural phenomena in order of their most recent eruptions. First stop, California, home to the infamous Lassen Peak, which last erupted in the early 20th century. Lassen Peak is part of the Cascade Volcanic Arc, a major volcanic belt extending from northern California to southern British Columbia. Despite its quiet disposition in recent years, Lassen Peak reminds us of its fiery past with steam vents and boiling springs. Moving northwards, we come to Mount Baker in Washington. It last erupted in the mid-19th century and is one of the snowiest places in the world. Beneath its white mantle, Mount Baker is an active stratovolcano filled with magma and ready to erupt at any moment. As we continue our journey southwards, we arrive at Mount Hood in Oregon. This potentially active stratovolcano last erupted in the late 18th century, around the same time as Mount Rainier. Despite its quiet recent history, Mount Hood's status as a potentially active volcano reminds us of the ever-present geological dynamism in the Pacific Northwest. But it's not all about the potential danger. Mount Hood is also a popular destination for outdoor activities, drawing in thousands of hikers and skiers every year. Thus, Mount Hood, a potentially active volcano, stands as a testament to the dynamic nature of the Pacific Northwest, showcasing both its geological and recreational facets. As we journey from Mount Hood, we find ourselves at one of the most captivating sites in the Pacific Northwest, the Crater Lake in Oregon. This awe-inspiring lake was formed around 7,700 years ago by the collapse of the volcano Mount Mazama. With a depth of 1,949 feet, it is the deepest lake in the United States and is known for its vibrant blue color and water clarity. Interestingly, despite being a caldera lake, Crater Lake does not have any rivers flowing into it or out of it. All water that enters the lake is eventually lost from evaporation or subsurface seepage. This isolation, combined with the pristine conditions of the lake, has created a unique ecosystem within and around it. In addition to its geological significance, Crater Lake National Park, which houses the lake, is a hotspot for recreational activities. From hiking and biking to birdwatching and stargazing, it offers visitors a myriad of opportunities to connect with nature. As we leave the tranquil waters of Crater Lake behind and head towards Mount Rainier, we are reminded that each of these geological wonders is a testament to the dynamic and diverse nature of the Pacific Northwest, each offering its unique blend of adventure and serenity. Next, we visit the majestic Mount Rainier, also in Washington. With its last eruption in the late 18th century, Rainier is considered one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world due to its enormous amount of glacial ice, which could produce massive lahars that could threaten the entire pile-up river valley. Close by is Mount Adams, the second highest mountain in Washington. Its last eruption occurred around 1,000 years ago. Although it's been quiet for some time, Mount Adams is far from dormant. It's a massive stratovolcano that looms large over the surrounding landscape. And who could forget Mount St. Helens? This volcano famously erupted in 1980, causing the most destructive volcanic event in U.S. history. Its eruption reduced the mountain's summit by 1,300 feet and left a large crater that still smokes and rumbles today. Crossing the border into Canada, we find the Garibaldi Volcanic Belt, home to Mount Meager, which last erupted in the mid-2nd millennium BC. This makes it Canada's most recent volcanic eruption. Despite its long dormancy, Mount Meager is considered potentially active and is closely monitored. Finally, we journey to the icy wilderness of Alaska, home to a myriad of active and non-active volcanoes. The most recently erupted is Bogoslov Island, which came to life in 2017. Despite its remote location, Bogoslov's eruptions have a significant impact on air travel due to the large ash clouds it produces. To sum up, the Pacific Northwest is a hotbed of volcanic activity, from the bubbling springs of Lassen Peak to the snowy slopes of Mount Baker, the dangerous beauty of Mount Rainier, the silent strength of Mount Adams, the explosive history of Mount St. Helens, the dormant threat of Mount Meager, and the remote eruptions of Bogoslov Island. Each one is a testament to the powerful forces that shape our planet. So the next time you gaze at these mountains, remember, there's more than meets the eye.
Infinity Solutions offers an endless number of ways to solve problems.